You often hear folks saying, we don't need no more government. We are done. We can govern ourselves. We can do whatever we want. In fact, let's just get rid of all government. Well, let me ask you this. Have you really thought about that? Do you really think that a government collapse can be beneficial for you? I want you to consider what you're saying when you say a total government collapse. Government do run some utilities, do run some electric utilities, some water. Some are private, but they do regulate them all. Without that regulation, any company can charge you whatever they want. Will you be okay with that? Will you be okay with your electric bill coming this month $100 and next month $1,000? You see, there's no regulation. You can't do nothing about it. Now here's the thing. Who are you going to complain to? That electric company? What enforcement? There is no government. When you have an emergency and something happened, and you believe that there is an issue, and you want law enforcement to come, what law? There is no government. When you call 911, you expect somebody to come in and help you. They won't come. There is no government. When people tell you, I will survive or collapse, and we don't need government at all, I don't think they really know what they're talking about. I really don't think they understand the magnitude that we are interconnected with government. Believe it or not, the service that we pay into to receive, they are ingrained within us. I strongly believe that. I want you to consider how many times you flush your toilet, how many times you open your water tap, how many times you flip that electric switch, how many times a day. I guarantee you don't know it. Why? Because you don't think about it. Why? Because the price is so that you can afford it. But imagine now if you remove government from that equation, you remove those who have those regulations in place so it will be fair to you and to everybody else. You would definitely be counting how many times you flip that switch. You would definitely be counting how many times you flush that toilet. Definitely. If you can do it. If you can do it. Now, forget about calling 911. What law? There is no law. You will be responsible for your own well-being. You will be responsible to protect your family. Well, let me put it like this. What stops anybody from coming into your house when there is no fear of repercussion, when there's no fear of imprisonment? Think about that. Maybe they get deterred because, well, they may get a bullet if it comes to it. But they may not. You see what I'm saying? Because if you are afraid of getting a bullet or going to jail, that's two things. But when you're only afraid of one, you may risk it. You see what I'm saying? I need you all to understand that when folks tell you all the time, and I hear this more than none, I will survive a collapse. I'm the man. I'm a lone wolf. We don't need no government. We are badass. Then people don't know what the hell they're talking about. They do not know what the hell they're talking about because all they do is read little books, imagine things, play video games, and going on YouTube and imagining a world that does not exist. I come from a third world country. There was no phone in the majority of the houses. So a lot of times we have to fend for ourselves, meaning that if somebody come into our home, try to rob us, well, you got to do something about it. Well, not everybody has the guts to do something about it. Some people, you know what they did? They cower in fear and let them take whatever they want. And then, of course, during the daylight, they complained, they whined, they did everything that everybody else does. But they didn't fight. Did they call the police? No, there's some sort of government in Cuba, of course. You know what the police said? Why didn't you do something about it? You coward. Now imagine there's nothing. Then what? Then what? Most people will be in the dark. And those who are, with the lights on, will be a beacon for those, well, that want to do harm. So when you hear folks flat out telling you in your face, I wish the government will collapse, they have no idea what they're saying. When you hear folks saying, I will survive a collapse, they have no idea what that entails. They really don't. They don't know how to grow food. They don't know how to raise animals. They may think they know, but it takes a lot to support a family. A lot. You have to be ass in the air pretty much all day long, working that land, taking care of those animals. That's all day long. Forget about fun things. Forget about it. You will be in a most foul moon all day long, because that is work that nobody wants to do. You don't want to be full of shit all day long, because dealing with animals means you being full of shit all day long. Working the land means you being dirty all day long, sweaty, stinky. You don't have time for television. You don't have time to read. You working from the moment that the sun comes up to the moment that the sun comes down. There's always work to be done, and it's never ending. People are not used to that anymore. Now, I hear folks saying all the time, well, my great-grandparents used to do it, but you ain't them. You ain't them. You were not raised that way. You are not used to it. Oh, you would do it if you have to? BS. BS. If you don't do it now, then the gravy is good. What makes you think that you would do it when it's bad? Come on. Let's be real. When it comes to people telling you, I will survive a collapse, they really have no idea what they're talking about. When they say we don't need government, they have no idea what they're talking about. Do we need all government to go away? What we need is a small government, less intrusive. A lot less intrusive than what we have nowadays. What we need is a government that they stick to what we allow them to have power in. That's it. That's it. That way, we can have some sort of regulations and we can have our lives. But our rights should be always upheld. That is the problem that we have nowadays. That our rights are being eroded. And people don't seem to damn understand that. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like always, rock on, prep on, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.